You know what? No, I need a palate cleanser. I need a palate cleanser. I need to learn about something. We're going to learn about Sriracha. We're going to watch a Fat Files video about Sriracha. How's that sound? Yes, I love it. Great, great.
I'm slowly coming to accept the fact there's absolutely nothing I can do without falling into a rabbit hole. I quit eating hot sauce like 10 years ago, went and bought a bottle of my old favorite hot sauce, and it tastes different. And now I'm reading appeals from the Second Appellate Court District of California.
Oh, there's going to be a story to this. It sounds good, hun. There's going to be a story to this. I'm here for it. Let's go.
Sriracha. Okay, like 10 years ago, it used to be my favorite hot sauce. And then one day there was some huge shortage of Sriracha. Nobody could get it. There was like a drought or a lawsuit or something. And the only place you could find it was on eBay for like $300 a bottle. It was insane. So like a normal person, I switched to a different product and haven't really looked back since. And then 3 days ago, I got a wild hair up my ass for whatever reason that I wanted some Sriracha. The drought or whatever was causing it to be messed up 10 years ago is probably over. And I could probably just go to the store and buy a bottle of Sriracha, so that's what I did. So I go, I find it on the shelf, I find what I know to be Sriracha, you know, the green little cap with the squeezy bottle with the chicken on it, and then right next to it is like 5 other bottles of hot sauce that are all claiming to also be Sriracha.
But I am telling you right now, that motherfucker back there is not real.
She became a meme. So bad. She was on everything. Seriously. That lady was. Also, yeah, I didn't even think about it because I never cared much for Sriracha for the longest time. That's because the white boy in me was like, nope, spice, too much. And now that the Filipino side started coming out more, it's like, spice? What? Lava?
Okay, that's weird. Usually, like knockoffs, you're allowed to knock off a product, but you have to like call it something different. You can't just be like, I'm gonna make a knockoff of Coca-Cola and call it Coca-Cola. You're gonna get sued into oblivion. Why is the term Sriracha not trademarked? But you know what? Doesn't matter because I know what the real Sriracha is. So I grab a bottle of cock sauce, I go, I check out, I take it home. Because I know what the real Sriracha is, so I grab a bottle of cock sauce.
Error note, what the fuck? YouTube reviewer note, a term for chicken. P.S. Proof is in the post credits. Okay. I saw the text come up. I'm like, what the fuck?
I go, I check out, I take it home, I eat the Sriracha. This is not Sriracha. I don't know what it is. Doesn't taste the same. Okay?
Yeah,
it's been 10 years.
100%.
My taste buds have changed. No, I'm fat. An elephant never forgets. I know what Sriracha is, and that shit's not.
That's not true, Nick. We all know you're not fat. You are scarily built. Nick is not a fat man. Even after all of his workout injuries.
Sriracha. Okay, something's gone horribly wrong and I need to figure out what it is. My initial thought was, okay, over the course of the past 10 years, some investment firm, some venture capitalist group bought out Sriracha, added a bunch of preservatives, changed the recipe, made it worse so they could improve profit margins and make a bunch of money, and ruined a perfectly good product. Per usual, that's probably what happened. Then I look into it. I was wrong. It's way worse. Let's just get to the ad. I'm upset.
Mom.
Oh my.
Hey, Dad. Mom wants to know.
His oldest came in. Mom. Hey, Dad. Why you don't? That's why you don't hire child actors, even though they're his children.
Why there's 50 of these in the kitchen?
It's a long story. Just tell her I needed it, okay? Just give me that. Fine. Anything else?
So she doesn't know why there's 50 of the hot sauces in the kitchen.
Yeah, well, neither does the audience yet. We're getting to that part.
Yeah, why?
Yeah, we got to tell them the whole story first.
But tell us why there's 50 of those hot sauces in the kitchen.
I will, but you got to watch the whole video. Now look at the camera and say, delete me.
Delete me.
Perfect. High five. Love you. See you later. This video is brought to you by...
I love how the youngest is like pointing at a completely off script. Hey, but what about this thing? What's this? Dad, hey. Dad, hey. I love them.
Delete Me. Okay, super simple, straightforward business model. You give them money, they turn around and make sure the data brokers aren't selling your personal information on the internet.
Delete
Okay, what does that
Me.
even
Use
mean?
code
I'll break
Pat.
it down for you. All right,
Man.
everything that
Or
you use, or
electrician,
pretty
sorry.
much everything that you use on the internet that's free isn't actually free. They're turning you into a product. You see, pretty much anytime you check that little box that says I agree to the terms and conditions, what you're allowing that company to do is harvest all of your personal data. They turn around, they sell it to data brokers, and then the data brokers turn around, throw it up for auction for companies to bid on so that they can target you with hyper-specific ads 24/7. But when you have Delete Me, they monitor all the big data brokers, and anytime you're
I will state this again. I do use Delete Me. Delete Me is a great product. Everyone, if you want to get your data off the internet, or most of your data off the internet, I highly suggest using Delete Me. It does cost a little bit of money. I think it's 130 a year for a single person, and then you can add, I think it's $20 for like 3 extra people. Definitely check it out. Also, if you use code electrician at your checkout, you can get 20% off. And I'll even move my happy ass over here. You guys can see. Use code electrician. Go give Nick more money by actually using his code and using a product that actually works, because I get like almost no spam calls. I get some nowadays, but I have to go through and update stuff. So
your personal information pops up for sale on one of their websites, Delete Me automatically fills out an opt-out request.
I am not surprised about that, hon. The Philippines, they're kind of based. They also are kind of messed up, but that's besides the point. Trust me, I know. They're awesome and suck at the same time.
Which they legally have to abide by and stop selling your information. And then
If a hot sauce is not scorpion peppers, okay, I get that, Dark.
They will resubmit the opt-out request again. Simply put, a subscription to Delete Me is what actually makes everything that's free on the internet truly free. In my opinion, it's definitely worth it. I've been using them since before they were paying me to talk about them, and I'm going to keep using them after they quit paying me to talk about them. If you want to give it a try, I'll have a link and a discount code down below.
Yes.
Let's get back to the video.
Yes.
All right, we're just going to take it from the top. Our story begins in 1975. The communists take over Vietnam. Living inside of Vietnam at this point in time is a 30-year-old man of Chinese.
Fucking Vietnam. No, America did not lose Vietnam. We made them sign a treaty. We won the war. Our fault that 3 years later, the communists decided to attack after they had signed the treaty. So we didn't lose the war. Fuck off.
Descent by the name of David Tran. And as far as I can tell, David Tran is just a normal.
No way his name's Tran. Oh no, oh no, we're going down a rabbit hole. We're going down a rabbit hole. The guy's name is Tran. Where is it?
He is a man of action. He is a man of honor.
Who is that?
He is a man of duty.
Are you talking to me?
Here comes
Dr. Tran. Sorry, rabbit hole. Sorry, rabbit hole. Had to.
Dude that has a hobby of making hot sauce in his free time. Okay, ethnically, he's Chinese, but he was born in Vietnam. He spent his entire life in Vietnam. He's Vietnamese by all accounts, okay? But the communist government, over the course of the next couple of years, starts adopting anti-Chinese policies, and eventually he is forced to flee his home country of Vietnam and board a ship with 3,000 other
by this time, China was, I mean, no, they hadn't gone full. They were like, I don't get communists. They're all retarded.
Vietnamese people of Chinese descent, and that ship's name is the Hoi Fong. Now, the Hoi Fong is supposed to be taking all these people to Hong Kong so they can be refugees, but Hong Kong at this point in time is being run by the British, and the British are like, no, we're not fucking taking you. So they're stuck out on this ship for over a month, not knowing where they're gonna go, and finally America steps in and is like, it's fine, bring them here, we'll take everybody in as refugees. So now David Tran, at 33 years old, finds himself in California, doesn't speak English well, if at all. He's here through absolutely no fault of his own, and he's got to figure out how to make a living, and the only thing he's got is hot sauce. He doesn't need to speak English, he doesn't need to have technical skills, because everybody appreciates a good hot sauce. If he can make it and sell it, that's going to be how he makes his living. So that's what he does. He starts making his hot sauce, and he's literally refilling old baby food jars with a spoon and funnel with this homemade hot sauce, and then hand delivering it on a bicycle to restaurants and anybody else that'll buy it. And the dude is
That's commitment. I like that. That's commitment.
just working his ass off doing this. He's working 18 hours a day. There's even a story that one of his kids tells later in life that when they were a baby, he would work for 18 hours a day making this hot sauce, and he would have all the, juices and everything all over his arms, and he wasn't even able to hold his kids when they were babies because he smelled so much like pepper and hot sauce it would make the kids cry. Like, it's impossible not to love and respect this guy. Like, dude is just forced into the worst situation imaginable, has to move to a foreign land where he doesn't speak the language, and just works his ass off and does everything he can to provide for his family. And it works. His hot sauce becomes like a cult thing in LA, and by 1980, he buys a 5,000 square foot warehouse where he ramps up production. Okay, do you understand how impressive that is? Like, I'm gonna say it a little bit slower. He moved to California, doesn't even speak English in 1978, and by 1980, 2 years later, he buys a 5,000 square foot warehouse in LA, which is renowned for having cheap real estate.
I love that. Multi-family home for sale. 2-bedroom, 2-bathroom, 1,080 square feet. Now you guys can't see it. On 3,350 square foot lot. $830,000. I think that's too small for, yeah.
Okay, this dude is a complete badass. Okay, so he gets this new factory up and running. Once he does that, he adds a couple of new flavors, and one of them is going to be based off of a Thai-style hot sauce known as Sriracha. Sriracha was the town that this style of hot sauce was originally invented in, so he just calls it Sriracha. He slaps a chicken on the bottle because that's his zodiac sign, and then puts a bunch of Chinese shit all over it, and he calls his company Hoi Fong Foods, named after the ship that brought him to America. Okay, just so we're all on the same page, a Vietnamese guy flees communism, moves to America, starts a hot sauce company, takes a recipe from Thailand, puts it inside of a Chinese branded bottle, and then sells a shit ton of it to achieve the American dream. I love everything about this story. It's the most American shit ever. From here, over the coming years, Sriracha becomes outrageously popular. At this point, he probably should have trademarked it. Couple of problems. One, you can't really trademark Sriracha because the word Sriracha is just the name of the town the sauce was created in. It'd be like somebody trying to trademark the word Los Angeles. You just...
Yeah, and Sriracha is Sriracha in Thailand. I actually don't know Thai, so I don't know if that's even correct. The American dream, yeah. Move here with nothing, build a dream.
You can't do it. So at this point, most people would be like, okay, we're going to give it a different name so that we can trademark it. But David Tran is like, no, we're calling it Sriracha. I don't care. If you want to make another hot sauce and also call it Sriracha, that's fine. I'm still going to win because my shit's better. He's just a complete gangster about the entire thing.
Patents for the week.
Okay, another $1 into the reasons you should love David Tran jar. Like, that is the best attitude on the planet. Like, I'm going to beat you not because my lawyers made it illegal for you to compete with me. I'm going to beat you by just beating you and outperforming you and giving the customer a better product.
Yeah, and that's another thing. That's respect there. I'm not going to trademark my thing so you can use my name, and then I'm going to murder you as competition. Like, you won't stand a chance. That's a big dick move.
And while that is a great attitude to have, great attitude alone isn't going to make a great product. A great plan is, and David Tran has that plan. Hoi Fong Foods is going to make their sriracha by using fresh, locally sourced ingredients. He is buying red jalapeno peppers from local farmers, having them picked in the field, taken straight to his factory, and turned into hot sauce the exact same day. Is that cost effective? Absolutely not. He could probably make way more money, have way better margins if he was buying a bunch of shit from overseas that was dehydrated, thrown into a barrel, and shipped across the ocean, but that's not what he wants to do. He wants to have it fresh, and he wants to support the American economy. He literally says he locally sources everything that he puts into his hot sauce as his way of giving back to America for bringing him into this country as a refugee. Okay, impossible not to love this guy. Comes to America, works his ass off, does not compromise on morals whatsoever. Like, I'm gonna do the right thing, I'm gonna create a superior product, I'm gonna support my people, and I'm gonna fucking win, and that's exactly what he does. Fast forward, by 1988, he's selling so much hot sauce that he's having trouble sourcing enough red jalapenos to be able to keep up with demand, and a local farmer, Craig Underwood, the owner of Underwood Ranch, hears about his issue and writes him a letter, not an email, not a text message, doesn't give him a call, writes him a letter that literally just says, and I quote, "Do you want me to grow you some peppers?" To which David Tran is like, hell yeah, grow me some peppers. I need a lot more peppers. So Underwood Ranches starts planting these red jalapeno peppers. And because the ranch is so close to his factory, they're actually able to pick the peppers, put them directly onto a semi truck, drive them straight to the factory, and within 6 hours, they are turned into hot sauce. And this is
That is impressive. I'm sorry. Period. End of story. From being picked to being bottled is 6 hours. All right. All right.
what makes sriracha so good. They're using the freshest ingredients possible, not a bunch of dehydrated shit that they can buy from anybody. So sriracha explodes in popularity even more. Okay, and it's worth noting, he's not even trying to market sriracha. The product markets itself. Sriracha has never spent a single penny on advertising or anything else. It's just like, you try it, you like it, you buy more, the end. That's David Tran's entire business model. I create a superior product, the customers will come to me. And it works. Sriracha starts hitting mainstream. It's getting sold all over the United States, at which point Sriracha does start getting some backlash. There's interviewers and reporters asking questions like, hey, why don't you make it a little bit milder? Some people say it's too hot, to which David Tran responded, and I quote, then use less. Hot sauce is supposed to be hot. Duh.
Based. Seriously.
This motherfucker don't miss.
Now, the relationship between Underwood Ranch and Hoi Fong Foods goes on in a conventional sense for like the first 10 years. Basically, Underwood Ranch grows some red jalapeno peppers. They sell them by the pound to Hoi Fong Foods. That's how it's normally supposed to go. And by the end of that 10-year period, Underwood Ranch is supplying 95% of all the red jalapenos to Hoi Fong Foods. And Hoi Fong Foods is accounting for approximately 25% of Underwood Ranch's business. The problem is Sriracha is getting more and more popular by the day, and he needs more red jalapeno peppers, and he wants Underwood Farms to grow them because they have a great relationship. So he goes to Craig Underwood and is like, hey, I need you to grow more red peppers. To which Craig Underwood is like, hey, look, you're accounting for 25% of my business already. That's probably too much for diversity. Like, if I lose you as a client, I'm going to go out of business. I can't risk growing more of, my available land on these red peppers because it's just too risky. I can't do it. Go ahead and buy some red peppers from somebody else. I'll keep supplying you as much as I possibly can, though.
How about no?
But David Tran doesn't take no for an answer. He's like, no, you grow the best red jalapeno peppers. I need you to do it. You're the best at it. Here's the deal. Rather than you footing the risk of having to grow these peppers and then me buying them by the pound, I will pay you up front for every acre of these peppers that you plant. Meaning that David Tran is now footing the risk of, if there's a drought or, a famine or there's a bad crop, whatever, the fault and the risk is no longer on Underwood Ranches. It is now on Hoi Fong Foods, which is a deal that Craig Underwood just can't turn.
Yeah, you can't. That's a deal. You'd be stupid to turn down that deal. You're supplying. They're like, no. You plant more. I'll foot the bill. So if we have a bad crop, then it's on me, not on you. That's. Where's the base button? Based. Seriously. That means that's a good partnership to have, you know.
Down, so he agrees. And from here, as far as I can tell, they shake on it, and that's that. There's no contracts, no nothing. Underwood Ranches over the coming years converts all of their farm into just growing red jalapeno peppers for Hoi Fong Foods. The entire thing is one crop for one client on a handshake agreement. And you know what? It works like a charm. And now that Underwood Ranches is only growing one crop, they start to become experts in growing red jalapeno peppers. Him and his right-hand guy, a guy by the name of Roberts, actually develop and build a harvester so they can harvest all of the peppers with a machine rather than sending people out into a field to pick them by hand. And this goes on for years. Craig Underwood and David Tran actually become really good friends.
Holy cow. That's you become so good at something, you know how to make it work perfectly. That's amazing.
They watch each other's kids grow up. They're going to each other's houses for holidays. Everything is perfect. And then by 2007, David Tran has a meeting with Craig Underwood and is like, hey, you need to make your farm bigger because I'm going to need more peppers because I am buying a new factory that's going to be 600,000 square feet. Okay, and if you don't know, acquiring more farmland is not a simple process by any stretch of the imagination.
Especially in
Pretty much
California.
anywhere in the United States, but especially in places like the Midwest or California, where real estate is notoriously expensive. But from Craig Underwood's perspective, this is, you know, not just a business acquaintance. This is my homie. He knows where I live. He knows my kids. We've been working together for 20 years at this.
Part of that sounds like a threat. He knows where I live. He knows where I live.
Point. If he needs it, I'm going to get it done. Underwood Ranches invests millions and millions of dollars and acquires 1,800 additional acres close to the new Hoi Fong Foods factory so they can keep supplying them. Now, presumably, some of that land was bought, but a lot of it had to be leased. And when you lease farmland, you're leasing farmland for decades at a time. Nobody is leasing farmland for like a year or a couple years at a time. It's like, no, you're going to sign a lease and you're going to be on the hook for this lease for the next 30 years, which is extremely risky for Underwood Farms, but he's betting on Sriracha. This thing is blowing up, it's selling everywhere, and he's been with this guy for 20 years. It seems like a sure thing. Okay, and if you weren't around or you don't remember, in like the 2010s, Sriracha was absolutely everywhere, right? Like they were putting Sriracha on hats, shirts. Lay's had a potato chip Sriracha flavor, and David Tran got paid for none of that, by the way. He could have probably sued for trademark infringement, not for the word Sriracha, but for the use of his rooster logo, but he never did because he just viewed the entire thing as free advertisement, which it absolutely was. Like, if you're in the hot sauce aisle looking for a new hot sauce, you're like, oh, I've seen 7.
Again, I always state, like, I wasn't, again, when I wasn't always a big fan of hot sauce or anything, so it was like, yeah. But, you know, now that, you know, I do hot sauce, I went from, like, no hot sauce to, like, 10,000 Scovilles. Like, there was no in between, so Sriracha's not hot enough for me.
17 hipsters wearing a Sriracha hats and Sriracha shirts, and there's Sriracha cookbooks.
The Sriracha's about 5,000.
I'm gonna buy fucking Sriracha. So Craig Underwood goes through with it. He acquires all this new land, fronts millions and millions of dollars, puts himself on the hook for decades for this farmland, but everything's gonna work fine because Sriracha is not going anywhere, and for years, it goes great. The new 600,000 square foot factory opens up.
Habanero or hotter,
is at full
usually.
tilt, making red jalapeno peppers. They are growing 100 million pounds of red jalapenos a year, delivering 50 to 60 semi-loads every single day to Hoi Fong Foods.
Spicy.
And despite this scale, they are still going from picked off the plant to turned into hot sauce in like 6 hours. Hoi Fong Foods is now a billion-dollar company selling hundreds of millions of dollars worth of hot sauce every single year. And
That is ridiculous. That's a ridiculous amount of hot sauce.
Underwood Ranches is, as far as I can tell, the largest red jalapeno operation in the world. And at this point, Sriracha is continuing to grow at 20% revenue year over year, which is insane. These two men have literally made something incredible off of nothing more than a handshake agreement and both working their ass off. And then it all goes to shit.
What do you mean?
According to the court documents,
and here's where it goes to shit. Yay. I love that. According to the court document, well, shit. Okay. No, you don't have to worry about that. I only do it on certain meals, so it's probably going to be something that I put on and be like, okay, cool. And then it's that.
In approximately 2014, David Tran wanted to give his sister-in-law, who was working for the company, a big raise, but he felt that his wife and son, who sat on the board, wouldn't approve it. So David Tran came up with an idea that he was going to make a new company on the board, who was working for the company, a big raise, but he felt that his wife and son...
His son here looks so pissed. He's like, you motherfucker. You motherfucker. You're fine, hon. You don't have to make me. I just need my hot sauce. That's all.
who sat on the board wouldn't approve it. So David Tran came up with an idea that he was going to make a new company and just give the company to the sister-in-law as a way to get her to make more money. And that new company was going to be called Chili Co. And Chili Co.'s entire job was going to be acquiring red jalapeno peppers and ingredients for Hoi Fong Foods. And that was going to be that. That's how he was going to pay his sister more money. Okay, I'm going to say that again, but slower, so we're on the same page. David Tran has just elected to hire somebody who presumably is not qualified to take over the operation of acquiring red jalapeno peppers, which is not even a job that needs to exist because he has one guy that gets him all the peppers that he needs on a handshake agreement. But for some reason, we're going to interject this person that doesn't know what the fuck they're doing to try to acquire the peppers that they already fucking have. Okay, I've said this a million times. If it's not broke, don't try to fix it. Everybody's making literally billions of dollars selling hot sauce and growing chili peppers. Just don't touch it. Leave it alone. Continue making money. But that's not what somebody that's a new hire that doesn't know what the fuck they're talking about is going to do. Absolutely not. Chili Co. starts looking at the numbers and they're like, well, you know, actually, we could buy these dehydrated chilies from China and they would only be $300 a ton. So I think that Underwood Farms should try to compete with these dehydrated chilies from overseas.
Which is not good because now you're paying, it's cheaper because it's dehydrated, but you're not also now paying for shipping cost. And then, like, you know, nowadays, or for a little bit, tariffs, you know, you're paying for outside. So in the end, is it going to be cheaper? Maybe by pennies on the dollar. Not enough to really like change, and then the quality is going to change. There's too many variables. Sorry, if you're going to do something, you don't do something stupid.
While he's supposed to also deliver brand new fresh chilies that are picked and then turned into hot sauce in 6 hours while he's growing them in California of all places.
What you just said is one of the most insanely idiotic things I have ever heard.
So Chili Co. goes to Craig Underwood.
Okay, there we go. That's a good clip there. That's a good clip right there. That's a great movie clip there. Yep, I agree.
And is like, hey, we could get this competitor's chilies for $300 a ton. We want you to be able to sell your brand new fresh chilies and deliver them to us with your semis for $500 a ton, to which Craig Underwood is like, absolutely not. It literally cost me almost $700 a ton just to grow these things. That's not possible. At which point the appropriate response would have been, oh, that actually makes a lot of sense. I'm an idiot. Forget I said anything. Is that what they did? Absolutely not.
That's simply not possible.
Why isn't it possible?
It's just not.
Why not, you stupid bastard?
The next year...
Yeah, that you literally have a good thing going. Don't fuck up the good thing. Why would you fuck up the good thing?
In 2015, Chili Co. pulls Roberts, aka Craig Underwood's right-hand man that helps him run his entire farming operation, aside and tries to hire him away from Craig Underwood. Roberts declines and kind of attributes the entire thing to a miscommunication.
He's absolutely right.
Around the same time, David Tran gets a hold of Craig Underwood and is like, hey, can we fly a drone over your farming operation? We just want to, you know, look at the crops that are growing, which is weird. He's never done that before, but also, like, drones are new. I've been working with this guy for 20 some odd years. Fuck it, why not? Yeah, as long as it's for, like, your personal use or you just want to look at it, like,
yeah,
that's
because
fine.
greed.
Go ahead. So,
exactly.
Hoi Fong Foods, David Tran.
Because his sister doesn't know how the business is running, and then she got in his ear and went, hey, we could make more money if we just do this instead. Or, hear me out, my business partner and best friend who helped me build this knows better. But, you know. Yay! Twitch loaded the stream. Hi, Runia.
flies a drone over, records all this footage of their farming operation,
Twitch has been
and then nothing
taking
seemingly
gate
ever
today.
comes of it. Then 2016, Craig Underwood is on vacation out of the country. They know that, so they have Roberts come to the Hoi Fong Foods factory, where the Chili Co. head and David Tran basically sit Roberts down and say, hey, we're starting this new company, Chili Co. You're gonna work for us. Not asking him to work for them, pretty much telling him, you work for me now, to which Roberts is like, no, I don't. I've been working for Craig Underwood for 2 decades. That's my guy. I'm not leaving him. They get super pissed. They then turn around and are like, okay, well, we can still buy this stuff from China for $300 a ton. You're going to sell us your stuff at $500 a ton, or we're going to go elsewhere. They literally can't sell it to you at $500 a ton. It costs them almost $700 a ton to grow this shit. So
sorry, Runya.
That price delusional.
Everyone can see you.
The entire thing just
over
by
on
going
Kick.
from paying by the
I know
ton to the
Kick
original agreement
doesn't
of,
give
we're
me a
gonna
lot.
pay you for every acre that you plant, because it shifts all the risk back onto Underwood Farms, and now they're
Dark, I'm going to go ahead and say it. Listen, we have to repeal the 19th. Listen, women have been suffering for too long. We need to end women's suffrage. Okay, I didn't get banned on Twitch.
screwed because they only grow jalapenos at this point, and they're stuck. So in the coming months, Underwood Farms tries to negotiate a new price with them, but it doesn't really go anywhere. So by the 2017 season, he's not able to plant any jalapenos, so there's no jalapenos in the ground. There is now a massive gap in the supply chain that's going to have to be filled somehow. So Chili Co. goes about trying to buy peppers from everybody else that they possibly can.
Listen, Runya. Happy agrees with me. I'm sorry, love. See, even Dark agrees. So you're gonna have to beat a couple of us up. We'll accept it. It's fine. It's because we like you and we like lupus. So fine.
Because you're never going to believe this. Nobody has 100 million pounds of fucking jalapenos lying around, and it's really hard to find that many.
I am stunned. Just stunned.
So in an effort to...
Dark agrees with me. So. And we like you and lupus, so. That's it. Is it? That's true. And then Happy will agree with me. No, it's a joke. It's, we need to end women's suffering or suffrage because they've been suffering for too long. It's just a joke. Don't glare at me. I'm an innocent person.
Help find that. They give all the drone footage of all the proprietary techniques and technology and all the intel that they had gathered through espionage to all the other jalapeno farmers without Underwood knowing.
This is bullshit.
So essentially, Underwood Farms is basically dead in the water, and they're on the hook for all these thousands of acres of farmland that they leased for the next 20 to 30 years.
We're just joking around right now.
While that's going on, Chili Co. and Hoi Fong Foods are getting jalapenos.
Runya, don't overexert yourself, please. I have to tell this to Happy too. Not to. She insists on staying up till I go to bed, and it's like midnight for her. So I already know it's late for you, really late for you.
From anywhere and everywhere else that they can, which means the quality isn't that great. Some of the peppers are picked too early. Some of them are dehydrated.
Yeah,
they're having to use
it's almost
chilies instead of red jalapenos.
Morning.
It's a giant fucking nightmare, which leads to the hot
The sun's
sauce
almost come up.
looking different. It's like a burnt orange color. People are mad that the sriracha doesn't taste like sriracha. Nobody knows what's going on. So now, presumably, Hoi Fong Foods is also financially hurting. So they just start digging through all their accounting, and they're like, actually, we think a couple years back, I think we overpaid Underwood Farms $1.5 million. We're going to take them to court and sue them, so they have to give us $1.5 million, and that's going to help with our financial burden.
What a stupid son of a bitch.
Okay, and I cannot stress to you enough that this is probably the dumbest fucking idea imaginable.
That's true, Dark.
I've been threatened with quite a few lawsuits in my day, and I have avoided all of them by saying one simple statement back to their lawyers, and that statement is, okay, sue me, I would love to go to Discovery with you. Because Discovery is this magical part of the judicial
Yeah, you realize, like, a lot of people don't realize when you sit there and you sue someone for monetary, um, you have to go into discovery and their entire fight, and not even just financial, well, like monetary. Like, if you ever sue someone, you go into discovery. Discovery will tell you everything, which means if I sued someone and they're like, cool, I'll see you in discovery, and I have nothing to back against, I'm screwed. I'm going to end up paying them more money. Now, on the other hand, if I sue them, they go, can't wait to see you in discovery, and I start laughing maniacally, that probably means they're going to be like, oh shit, oh no, oh fuck. What's up, CDR? How you doing? First time you made it into the stream. How's it going?
Process where both parties have to come to the table with all of their evidence, and you can subpoena and get all of their internal records and figure out exactly what was going on, which presumably is exactly what happens. And when Chilico and Hoi Fong Foods have to turn over all of their shit, it becomes very apparent that they have been plotting for at least 3 years to screw over Underwood Farms, at which point it goes from them suing Underwood Farms for $1.5 million
That's good to hear.
Underwood Farms suing them for $23 million.
Oh, wait, hold on. How'd this play out again? Sorry, I got distracted.
Over Underwood Farms, at which point it goes from them suing Underwood Farms for $1.5 million to Underwood Farms suing them for $23 million and winning in court.
It was.
Ow. Ooh. Ah. Ooh. That sucks.
Perfect.
And this is what caused that magical time like 10 years ago, 2016, 2017, where nobody could find Sriracha on any shelves anywhere. And if you could, it was like this weird different color. It didn't taste the same. It was all because it wasn't the same. The whole thing with Sriracha was they had fresh red jalapeno peppers that were grown in California in a particular part of the world that were plucked, transferred to the factory, and turned into hot sauce in 6 hours flat. It was literally a multi-billion-dollar money printing machine with a beautiful backstory with two hard-ass working men on a handshake agreement that built a fucking empire together, and the entire thing was harpooned by one stupid it's greed.
I think Nick went on a rant there. See, I enjoy it nowadays. Like I enjoy hot sauce now more nowadays. When I was younger, I didn't, but that's because I'm Asian, and the older we get, the hotter our food has to be. So
it's pure greed. Like, why? Everybody was winning. It wasn't broke. Why would you try to fix it? You've got some moron that didn't build this company whispering in your ear like, oh yeah,
we all have mansions. We're all rich as shit, but you can have a little bit bigger mansion and be a little bit more rich if you fucked over all your friends.
And then you blew up the entire thing. Congratulations. So yeah, that's why you couldn't find Sriracha on the shelves 10 years ago. And that's why the Sriracha today tastes a little bit different. Oh, but you know the funny part, you know what Underwood Farms did after they won the $23 million lawsuit with Sriracha? They turned around and started making their own Sriracha, and guess what they called it? Fucking Sriracha, because you can't trademark the word Sriracha. So now, made with Underwood Farms with the actual chili peppers, you can get Underwood Farms Sriracha, and I'm gonna be honest, it tastes very similar to the original Sriracha, but it's a little bit spicier, and I kind of like it more. So
I will have to try that one.
I found my Sriracha.
I'll have to try that one.
I wish I could tell you what the next video is going to be, but who knows what rabbit hole I'm going to fall into next.
Nick's rabbit holes are scary. I'm not going to lie. Nick's rabbit holes are scary. His rabbit holes are scary, and there's a reason why Happy and I will never go to a Planet Fitness is because of Nick. Because, yeah, his rabbit holes are scary. Scary, scary.